guys, welcome to NOOB-DEV. In this video, we are going to talk about the this keyword. This is going to be the first video of the following 2-3 videos. Why I'm doing so is because I want to keep the segments different. In this particular segment, we are going to talk about, I'm just going to zoom it up. In this particular segment, I'm going to talk about the confusions that make this keyword hard and uh, remove those confusions. Correct? Just a heads up, we are not going to talk about how this keyword works, where it points to, correct? And I would say what's the rule behind this keyword. Cool. If you are in a hurry to understand this keyword, this video is not for you. If you have time and want to understand the fundamentals, please move forward with me. Cool. So, starting with what is this keyword? This keyword is nothing but the pointer to the context of current execution. This keyword is the pointer, or it points, I would say, this keyword, this keyword, and I would like to, this works like this, points towards the context of current execution. If this is seeming to be very confusing, let's try to understand what I'm trying to say. Or I would say, first, let's understand what is context, what is an execution. Cool. So I'm here, I'm into a new board. Let's try to understand. Let's say, for example, let's say we will create a function here, right? I have a function, I would say myself, and I have this saying console.log myself. Self, sorry for this. And I have another function which is wrapper. Cool. What I'm going to do is nothing but call this here. So myself is getting called inside myself wrapper, and we are going to get myself wrapper here. Let's take the screenshot with us and try to understand what is context and what is execution. Cool. Try to understand. Cool. First, we will talk about what is execution. Oh, sorry. Yeah, here we go. We are going to talk about what is execution. Sorry for the handwriting. So, cutting short, we have something called a call stack. Where that call stack comes into the play, this code is definitely getting run somewhere, right? Otherwise, this won't make any materialistic or physical sense. This code is getting executed somewhere, and that's basically the JS engine. Cool. So this is what JS engine. It depends on on what area you're working. Let's not get into that. But this JS engine has something called call stack. As it says, it's a stack. Cool. What the stack does, let's say if the JS engine came here, it came to this point and it sees that this is just a function declaration, right? So this one, we don't need to call it up. It will go down, it will add the whole data of this function to it somewhere in storage, and it will store it up here. It will come here, it will see this, and it will complete this myself thing, right? Then it will come down and it will see function myself wrapper. It will see again it's a declaration, and it will put it up here in storage, and hence it will go here, and then it will see here. What we're going to do is we are going to call this function. I'm so sorry I missed this parenthesis. We are going to call this function. It's going to see that, hey, I am calling myself, I'm calling myself wrapper, which is a function. What it's going to do is put this function in the call stack. Cool. So this function, which is myself wrapper, is going to come under this call stack. As soon as it comes into the call stack, the JS engine will do it proceeding, and this will start get executing. Whenever it gets start executing, it will come to this line. It will see that, hey, I'm doing console.log myself wrapper. So I'm to log, I'm consoling. So this will get consoled in our browser console, or wherever you have a console, it will get printed up here. Cool. Then what will happen? It will see, hey, I'm calling myself. So there should be a function with this name. So it will find it and it will call it. So this myself, since the myself wrapper execution has not yet completed, it will stay like this, and the myself will come from there to here in this stack. So stack is the first one which comes up, it stays at the below, and then hence myself came in top. And what it will do, the JS thing will come here and start executing the myself first, and won't see what are the next line. Let's say if I have console.log xxx something here, it won't look toward that. It will first complete execution of myself. It came here and it saw that I need this myself, right? So it will go and console this myself here. Then it will see, hey, I am already over. It will come back, and it will see, hey, myself wrapper is also over, and then it will come back from here, and then it will see all over. So this is what it is, execution. This is how the process takes place. It comes into call stack and things do happen. Now, why did I tell you this? Because we wanted to understand what is execution and how execution works. Now we are going to talk about the second keyword here, which is context. What is this context? This belongs to this execution only. So as I said, there's something called JS engine. I will create a bubble like this to imagine this as a JS engine. This thing is a JS engine, right? And it has different thing and thing and thing. First, what happens is when it came here, it will see myself wrapper. What it will do is just want you to imagine, this is not how it actually works. This is just an imagination. Then whenever a function call is getting executed, the first function call, let's say if you have a function which is init or something like that, this thing will create sort of a bubble. This is just an imagination. Cool. Don't take it very seriously. So the myself wrapper will create a bubble here. Cool. Then it will execute the first line of this. It will the line will come here, which is console.log something something something. Then it will see I am calling myself, which is another function. As we are calling myself inside of wrapper, it will create one more bubble, and this bubble is for myself function. Cool. Now try to understand. For myself, for myself, the context, the execution context. What is execution context? Execution context is the place where it is getting executing. I might have some context, right? So for as this is getting executed, the context for myself is myself wrapper, this area. Cool. And for myself wrapper, the execution context is this JS engine. This is not entirely true, just giving you an example. This is something, this is window or something else based on where you are running this code. So, and hence the myself wrapper has access to this area, which is this context, which is JS engine, and myself has access to myself wrapper. So myself will also have access to the JS engine. Cool. This is how it works. So execution and context. I hope you got it. Now taking it forward. So reading it again and again, this keyword points towards the context of current execution. So current execution is this. For let's say myself, in myself, if I have this keyword, this will point to the context, which is this area, the context of current execution. So my current execution is this, and what's the context? This area. So this will point towards myself wrapper or JS engine. See, this is not entirely true. I'm just giving you an example in this state. This is not true. Okay, this won't point towards the wrapper. Just trying to imagine or trying to make sense of this thing, this particular thing. Cool. So why is this keyword, the inverted comma, this keyword is so confusing? Because you are the reason. As a developer, you try to make a sense of it. Cool. You try to make a sense of that particular keyword as a variable name. It's not so. Let's try to understand. Why is it? So whenever you see this anywhere, so let's say if I put this here, which is this here, what developers usually see this as, or even I used to think this as, whenever if I'm doing this, this is somehow pointing to itself. As grammatically, it sounds correct that whenever we say this, it should point to itself, which is this. So confusion number one. Confusion. Confusion. Yeah. Confusion number one. That this points, this means itself. Let's see if it's yes or no. Or the second point, what we just talked about, that this keyword points towards the context of the current execution. So the context of the current execution, that means for myself, it was myself wrapper. So the next confusion, because of this statement and the way it is understood or way it is conveyed to us, that this means the current wrapper execution context. Okay, that means this area. Let's see if that's true or not. First of all, we'll come it up here. So if, let's say, if to solve this confusion, this is a big no. Anyway, this is a big no. No, it doesn't mean itself anytime. How we're gonna see this is, I'm gonna take this function, which is this myself function. Okay, I'm gonna take this function from here. And if that's true, key this always points to itself, consoling this should return this function, right? So I'm gonna call this here, and I won't call this here. I will just take it up here, and in this console, I will just push it up. So talking about the confusion, the first thing what developers think, that this somehow points to the function itself, the declaration. That's not true, because if that would have been true, then it should print something like this, which is the function here, the function. We are just telling you, I haven't called the function, I have just specified it. So myself, if this keyword points to itself, then it should console something like this. But whenever I call this myself self, it is giving me something called window. And if I take the same thing here, save it up, and just to comment this up and do a node in node index.js, it is giving me some object, but it isn't giving me window. This also differs on where am I running it. As I'm running this in VS Code, and it is something, it is calling using something called node, and this is using the browser engine, it differs. If you don't know, please ignore this. This isn't for this video, this is for some other video. Now, as you can see, this anyhow, the main point is this anyhow not pointing to the function itself. It here it's a windows, here it's some other object. So that means the first thing is absolutely no. Please just remove this from your mind, that this won't ever point toward itself. Cool. Talking to Taking you toward the next thing, which is mean the current execution context, or what the context we were talking about. So to see that, what we are going to do is, I'm going to take a function which is, I think, the same function, myself wrapper and myself. I'm going to comment this out. Okay, I'm going to put this here. We already have this myself. I will going to remove this from here. I'm going to put it up here. Console.log this. I'm calling this function here, which is myself. So we have a myself function, that myself is calling myself, and that is nothing but consoling this. Why are we doing this? Let's try to understand. And we will call to myself wrapper. Cool. So if you see this, the same thing here which you talked about, let's first of all remove this kachra. Eraser. Yeah. हट जा भाई, हट जा. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, here we go. So this is the same function, right, which we were talking about. Let's try to understand why I am giving you this example. The reason why I'm giving this, the second confusion which developers do have, that this means the current execution context queue. Reason being, the 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 definition of this keyword gives you the hint of that, right? Key, this points toward the context of current execution. What is context? I already told you. So if that would have been true, and as I'm consoling this here in the latest code, not myself, if the JS engine is here, then we have a myself wrapper, and myself wrapper is calling myself. Then consoling this here, if the second statement is true, that means it points toward the context, it should return something related to my self wrapper, either a function or a, let's say, object or something which is very linked to the myself wrapper. Let's see if that's true or not. We are going to copy this cell thing from here and put it into this. It's still consoling window. If you think that this is what it is coming from the top, it is not, bro. We are going to take this from here. Yes, save it up, enter. Oh, so sorry. Yeah, here it is. So it still gave me, so this is the same console, it gave me window. Why? And the reason is, even though it seems very simple, it is not. I would like to stop this video here. In the next video, we are going to talk about why it is so, why it is giving me windows, and what are the rules behind understanding the working of this keyword. I would like to leave you with a very simple thing and see what is going to be the output of it. So here it is. Cool. We nothing but have a function. See, try to have a look. Okay, we don't need this. We need this. We need this. Cool. Try to have a look. We have a function foo. What it is doing? It is just consoling foo, and the number what it is taking, it is just consoling it up. This dot count, please ignore it for now. Then after this declaration, what we are doing, for this foo, we are declaring a variable which is foo dot count is equal to 0. If you haven't seen this and if this looks confusing to you, don't worry. It is perfectly allowed. Reason being, everything in JS is object, not literally. I mean, it is, but uh, just take it as it is valid, right? So foo.count, that means for this foo, we are defining a variable inside foo, which is count, and we are giving it a value 0. We are going for a var I, and we are running a loop from 0 to 9, which is till 10, but yeah, 10 won't work here. What we are doing is, once the I passes 5, which is 6, 7, 8, 9, it will start to call this function, right? So it will call initially with 6, then 7, then 8, and then 9, and then it will stop. Cool. Every time if the function is called, it will console.log 6789, but with that, it will, what it will also do is change the value of this count by 1. I mean, increment the value by 1. So that means, as this foo.count is equal to 0, if this dot count is increasing, this should increase, right? Please do copy this code from here. Have a look. Have a look. What will happen? What's going to be the output? Please do console this dot count. Please do console foo dot count. See what's the difference. And if you don't understand, just giving you an hint. The first point what we talked about, this ever won't point toward the function, which is function dot count. So where is it pointing? We will talk about this in the later video. Cool. So thank you so much. See you in the next video.